video is a couple days getting posted because it has been a wild weekend of 2 Easter dinners and a birthday dinner tonight. This is Monday, and now I'm just finished getting the garden tour Saturday post ready. So I hope you enjoy what I have. It's been a crazy weekend, and this video might be a bit of a mishmash, but you are warmly welcome to the channel. Welcome to Garden Tour Saturday with your host, Grandma Sandy, your co-hosts, Suffolk Susie, Pat's Garden Life, and Growing on Vancouver Island. Today is Saturday, and this is Garden Tour Saturday, Easter edition. Welcome. It's so beautiful out here today. I'm so grateful that the sun is shining and the sky is blue. There's so many things to do, and we have beautiful tulips and daffodils and hyacinths, and so many reminders of our beautiful spring and life's renewal. I hope you all have a wonderful Easter. I've got Easter dinner to cook today and one to cook tomorrow, and I'm going to be very busy. But I wanted to welcome you to my garden. It is a terrible mess, and we're going to be working on it slowly. We still have a month before we can plant out, so I'm not in that big of a hurry. My time is mostly spent still in the greenhouse, potting up my tomatoes and different vegetables and keeping a good eye on them. How are your garden preparations for 2026 going? Beautiful and well, I hope. How do you like that blue sky? Isn't it gorgeous? It really lifts my spirits. There's so much to do and so little time to do it. But what I'm doing right now is trimming up this broccoli that stayed all winter. And I was just going to rip it out, but then I thought, there's some good pieces on here still. And if I trim it up really well, maybe it'll just start coming back, and that will save me some time to start all over again and plant broccoli. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm cutting off all the old icky growth. I'm going to put all that in the compost. And right over here, there's a nice pile of broccoli that's still good that we're going to be able to cook up today. So I'm going to see if this is going to work. If it's not going to work, then that's okay. It's worth a try. Experiments are always good in the garden, and the results seem to vary from year to year. And I think right here, my daughter thinks it's arugula. I did plant arugula here, and it's going to seed. I'm not very good with arugula to begin with, but I'm wondering if it's bitter. No, I'm not really bitter, it has a nutty taste. Are you familiar with arugula? What do you do with it? So we can see it's going to go to seed. I'm not sure what to do with it. But I'm going to pull up most of it and maybe see if some of the newer, littler leaves are tasty enough to still use in salads. So, again, I'm not very familiar with arugula, but I'm going to give it a try. And this bed over here, I want to get planted with carrots, spinach, lettuce, and maybe some onions from seed, because I don't have any onion sets yet. I really want some. We have a sheet of 2x4 fencing over this garden bed to keep the cats out because it's been newly turned, and we want to keep it nice. So I've got a lot ahead of me and a lot to do, and I just wanted to invite you to come and do some of it with me. Like Gypsy from On the Edge of Appalachia has said lately, the weather just seems to be bipolar and just, it's spring. It happens, but a little bit stranger than usual, I am willing to say. It'll be nice and in the 80s for a couple of days, then it'll go down to 36 and more. Then it'll go down to 32 and it'll have some snow flurry. It still is a little bit strange in my opinion, but we'll get there. And hopefully we'll have plenty of rain and a lot of water in the aquifers and the lakes, rivers, and streams to be able to irrigate this year and not have to worry about it. What are you guys working on today? Not only do I want to get this broccoli plant trimmed back to see if we can get some new florets growing, but like I said, I've got to plant that bed, and I need to pot up more. I need to wash pots. Lots of things, plus pop in the house now and then and do some cooking, and then I'm going to have grandkids and a couple of kids coming over pretty soon. So am I feeling stressed? Yes, but on we go, best foot forward, and getting done what we can. It's just such a lovely day. I would really love to just work out here and have my kids and grandkids around, running around, enjoying themselves, but I will take what I can get. We definitely have to make Easter sugar cookies and have an Easter egg hunt and all sorts of stuff. So part of the family can come today, and then part of the family can come tomorrow. So we're having 2 Easters. We can do this, right? I also want to plant some chamomile today. I planted some in the green stalk planter, and I want to go over here to these wooden beds, remove some of the pine shavings, and get some chamomile planted. I think it's late enough in the season to do that, so that if the chamomile came up, it wouldn't freeze. I think it likes a little bit cooler weather anyway. Well, this is not very attractive at all. Just trying to cut off these really icky branches and see if we can get some broccoli florets to grow back and enjoy some broccoli before the other ones have grown and matured, because they're awfully small right now, even though I started them in January. Sometimes in the greenhouse they grow a lot slower than they would if you planted them straight into the bed as seeds. Well, that'll have to do for now. That's a start. But I don't have enough time to get out here and completely take care of the bed, and I want to get the other bed planted. I was listening to someone, and I always forget who. I think it might have been Midwest Gardener, but they said, just fill your soil. And if it feels cold, then it's not time to plant. Some of the seeds will do okay if you do plant them when it's cooler. I think brassicas are some of the ones that would do okay. But you definitely wouldn't want to plant out any tender annuals like a tomato or a pepper or what have you. So we know that we can't plant out here for more than a month, probably more like 6 weeks at least. It used to be the end of May, but it seems to have changed. And last several years I could definitely plant things out sooner. Okay, now it's time to go over there and plant that other bed. This is going to make some very, very good compost. Lots of nitrogen, lots of green. I decided to stop and try to pick some dandelions right now. We haven't had anything sprayed on our yard. We never have it sprayed here in the garden or out in the pasture. But I need to be picking them, and then I'm going to go wash them and remove all of the sticks and the grass and the dirt. So far I have this much, but I'm going to finish this little patch through here, and then I've got to get to the bed and get it planted. Gypsy from on the edge of Appalachia has encouraged me to try to learn how to forage. I know how to get the dandelions. I know that this is the wide leaf plantain, and there's also a narrow leaf plantain. All these things are so good for you inside and out. I am not a doctor. I do not give medical advice. But I know a few herbs, and this is one of them. You can use it on bee stings. You can dry it and then infuse it into an oil and make salves and all sorts of things. I think this is the wild marshmallow root. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But I would definitely get a book, identify it, and make sure I knew what it was before I used it. And most of these I just use topically. I have had some success starting last year with making some salves, mostly with comfrey, some with fever's hue and dandelion, chamomile. I think that's it so far. Oh, calendula flowers. Isn't that beautiful? A lot of people are starting to question how we got into having such great expanse of green lawns where we have to mow them and work on them and put chemical fertilizers and chemical weed killers on them. I think it would be a good idea if we got away from that more. And really, I'm not one to talk because I have a huge yard. But if I was to put all of the 2 acres into cultivation, there's just no way I could do it. So, and I don't have a cow, I don't have a horse, I don't have a goat, or any animal like that that could utilize all of my grass in my yard if I made them into pastures. We had horses in the past, we had a few sheep, but we're getting older now, and that's something we don't really want to take on. This is the narrow leaf plantain that I was talking about. They're both very, very good for skin problems, for bee stings, and all sorts of things. I encourage that you get a good herb book and read up on it. Barbara O'Neill seems to be a really wonderful herbalist. Okay, this is most of the ones in the garden. I wanted to get it done so that my son could come in here and weed eat. Once he weed eats, of course, they're not here and available anymore, so I wanted to get that done. But I've got to move on to my next project and get that one bed planted. Okay, distraction again. Before I get to that, sorry about the lawnmower in the background, it is my neighbor's, but I have to dig up these strawberry runners. They're called daughters. The mother plant sends off shoots, and the resulting child is called a daughter. So I'm going to dig up these strawberry daughters and then get to that bed. I promise. Look at some of these tomatoes. Most of them I have potted up into the gallon containers, but I've got to get bamboo stakes for ones like this and this. See, I have a stake here that I use jute and tie them to because they're getting very tall. These things really want to be planted out, but they can't be for a little while yet because it's still freezing. Take a look at all these guys down here. And over here. So yeah, I have plenty of tomato plants. And also out in the pasture garden, we have that other greenhouse. So yeah, plenty of things. We've got those up there. We're running out of room. I hope you guys have enjoyed this kind of disjointed garden tour Saturday video. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate your love and support. I'm getting really close to 1,000 subscribers. And I just can't thank you enough. You guys are great, and I love watching your videos. I love learning all the things that I learn from you. I hope you have a very wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for stopping by.